Once upon a time, there lived a young woolly mammoth called Sasha. He lived on the icy plains of Siberia, in the far north of Russia, where the snow covers the ground for half the year, and the mammoths have to dig in the snow with their tusks to reach the green grass. Then, when the snow melts, the plains are covered in beautiful flowers for the whole summer. Sasha was a lonely mammoth, because all the baby mammoths were too small to play with, and the grown-ups were too boring. So he spent his summer days digging for interesting things in the meadows, which he kept in his treasure chest. One day, when he was out digging, he saw a strange shape approaching. It looked like a mammoth, but it was all grey and wrinkly. "Hello," said the strange animal. "What are you? Are you a mammoth?" asked Sasha. "No, I'm an elephant," said the newcomer. "My name is Tembo, and I have come a long way. When I was a baby, some poachers kidnapped me and sold me to a circus, where I had to do silly tricks, and they beat me if I made any mistakes. Then, this spring, the circus came to Russia. We tried to cross the great river, but the snows had just melted, and they filled the river and washed the circus away. I only survived because I'm a strong elephant and could swim to the other shore, and I ran all the way here." The two soon became fast friends, and they spent a fine summer digging up treasures on the banks of the streams. First, Sasha found a megalodon tooth, which was still as sharp as a razor. Then Tembo found an old fossil shell, which made a noise when you blew into it. Then they each found a fossilized stick from an ancient forest that had once grown on the plains. One day, as autumn approached, the first snowflakes started to fall from the sky. At first, they had great fun catching the snowflakes on their trunks, but soon Tembo began to shiver. He didn't have the thick woolly coat of a mammoth, and he knew he could not survive a winter in this place. Sasha had an idea. Taking the megalodon tooth from his treasure chest, he cut his woolly fur short until he had a huge pile of wool. He tried to cover Tembo with the wool, but it kept falling off. Just then, the queen of the mammoths walked by. She was a wise old mammoth, and she knew many secrets. "My young friends, I think you need to talk to the Lord of the Sheep. The sheep know how to make wool stick together, and maybe they will share that knowledge with you. Travel to the land of the sheep and find out." Sasha and Tembo gathered up their food and belongings and set out for the long journey. They swam across the mighty river, which was much more gentle in the autumn, and pushed their way through the deep forest by pulling trees down with their strong tusks. At last, they came to the hill country where the sheep lived. The grass of the hills was all cropped short by the sheep, but no sheep were in sight. They heard strange howls in the distance. Eventually, they found the sheep huddled in a cave. The Lord of the Sheep listened to their request, but said, "I will only help you if you help us. We spend our nights being terrorized by wolves, so we have to hide in this cave. Get rid of the wolves, and we will share our secrets with you." "Wolves are no match for an elephant and a mammoth," said Sasha, and together with Tembo, they waited until nightfall when the wolves approached. At first, they tried to scare off the wolves with their trumpeting voices, but the wolves were too smart and did not scare so easily. Then they tried to stomp on the wolves with their clomping feet, but the wolves were too fast and did not get stomped. At last, Tembo remembered the shell whistle. He blew a note on the whistle, and the wolves all stopped. He blew another note, and they started to run in circles. All night long, Sasha and Tembo blew on the whistle, making the wolves run back and forth until they were completely exhausted. And when the sun came up, the wolves were completely tame. They had become the first sheepdogs. The Lord of the Sheep was delighted with his new sheepdog squad. "Now, let me tell you the secret of knitting," he said. "All you need is 2 sticks. Sasha and Tembo took the 2 pieces of fossilized wood out of the treasure chest, and the old sheep taught them how to knit. With 1 stick in each trunk, they made a jumper for Tembo. "Now you are a woolly jumper, Mammoth," said Sasha. By the time they got back to Siberia, Sasha's wool had all grown back. They were both toasty warm all winter, and after that, every spring Sasha would shave off his wool and they would make a new jumper for the new season. And Tembo lived happily with his mammoth family to the end of his days.